Hello everyone, I am Julian Morris with the Channel 5 News. In the headlines, manufacturing sector seizes opportunity to innovate during the COVID-19 pandemic. Rotary places school assistance programs on hold indefinitely, and significant declines predicted for regional travel and tourism industries. The details coming up.
Avec flow, gagner l'argent, on partit l'argent avec flow. Gagner l'argent, on gros sac l'argent. C'est juste ça pour gagner un gros sac l'argent avec flow. Animez on top up, sign up, quittez yo, every video join flow. It only gets better with flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
When you feel a sneeze or a cough coming, covering your mouth prevents the spread of germs. You probably knew that. But the way you cover up also matters, and that means breaking a habit you've held near and dear all your life. Cover your nose and mouth with your flexed elbow or a tissue, not your hands. Discard the used tissue immediately. Then wash your hands. Help stop the spread of germs. Remember, your health is your responsibility.
A message by the Health Promotion Unit of the Ministry of Health, Wellness and New Health Investment, Dominica.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Giving away $30,000 in cash, 2 bags of money plus $1,000 every Friday.
We're flowing better every day, and now we're making Fridays great. That's 3 ways that you can play. So listen up.
Top up.
$10 or more.
Sign up.
Just switch to Flow.
Get a plan.
1 gig or more. If you want to win cash galore.
With Flow.
Win a bag of money.
Cash out.
Get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? From Flow.
So top up, get a plan, or switch now to win. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
First up in the news, a unique opportunity for the manufacturing sector being seen as the silver lining of the COVID-19 pandemic. Andrea Louis reports.
The pandemic has forced a new normal upon citizens all over the world and impacted the business sector severely. A number of enterprises have been forced to shut down, while others have been forced to adapt to a new way of doing business amid government-imposed restrictions. President of the Dominica Manufacturers Association, DMA, Severin McKenzie, says the new practices brought about by COVID-19 bring to the fore an innovative opportunity for the manufacturing and agriculture sectors.
For manufacturing and agriculture, we see COVID-19 as a perfect opportunity. We only look at the opportunities that COVID-19 has actually brought to manufacturing and agriculture in Dominica, because it has finally made us as a population, and I think, and I hope as a government, to recognize that the economy, the real economic base of this country is going to be on what we can do for ourselves as far as manufacturing is concerned.
The association submitted a recommendation to government on how to kickstart the initiative, especially if a hurricane were to impact the country and send its food security into limbo once more.
For example, in terms of agro-processing, what can be done, because we have quite a number of root crops. What can be done in terms of processing these root crops, especially we are in the crisis of the pandemic right now, but we also have the information staring us in our face that we are facing we might be facing another brutal hurricane season.
The DMA is also of the view that in order to further market and promote locally manufactured products, such items should make up a significant portion of packages which are made for those in need.
One of the things that we recommended also that even in the relief effort in terms of food packages, at least 75% of any food basket that is made available to homeowners should contain fresh produce and locally manufactured products. So we see COVID-19 as an opportunity being presented itself for the manufacturing sector, and we're really hoping that we will take advantage of it.
In other news now, experts are also predicting significant socioeconomic and financial declines in the regional travel and tourism industries. Speaking with the Caribbean Tourism Organization on Tuesday, Regional Vice President of the International Air Transport Association, Peter Serda, shared figures that paint a grim picture of the Caribbean's future were the pandemic to continue for a sustained period of time. He is quoted as saying, "We're talking about in terms of the Caribbean, the impact in GDP is roughly about 740 million. It's our estimate, and these are estimates that we based on if the crisis continues through the second quarter. If the crisis continues beyond that, then obviously these numbers will be different." He says, quote, "We have 23,000 jobs that are at risk as well, but aviation is not the only equation in this. We're just part of the equation. If you look at the wider impact, the entire travel and tourism sector, it's actually devastating." There, the numbers actually increased to 6.45 billion, and we put 355,000 jobs at risk when we talk about hotels, restaurants, store operators, agencies, and so on. He said one of the reasons, perhaps the biggest, the pandemic is having such a massive impact on the region is the dependence on travel and tourism. Statistics show that the sector contributes approximately 50% to the GDP of some of the most dependent CARICOM countries and relatively high percentages to several others. The Dominica Nurses Association highlights Cuba's contribution to Dominica's fight against COVID-19. At the last check, Dominica's active cases of COVID-19 had dropped to 1. Speaking in the context of International Nurses Day this week, the DNA president made the point that Cuba's medical brigade played an important role in Dominica's success so far in containing the spread of the pandemic.
Thankfully, no life has been lost and no nurse or other healthcare worker have been infected with coronavirus in Dominica. We, however, have lost a brother nurse who came to Dominica with the Cuban Medical Brigade on a COVID-19 mission. He came to save lives, but lost his own. Joet Cordero collapsed on May 5th and died in service. Stop for a moment of silence with me to honor his memory. The Dominican Nurses Association extends our profound gratitude to Cordero's nursing career and his service to Dominica. We also offer our deepest condolences to the family, colleagues, and the governments of both Cuba and Dominica.
The DNA president is also calling on governments around the world to pay closer attention to their needs.
We cannot nurse the world to health when its governments ignore us, nor can we nurse the world to health when the world abuses us. Put it differently, we cannot achieve universal health coverage and the Sustainable Development Goals if we do not have the right and positive practice environment in which to achieve them. Nurses' response to the COVID-19 pandemic has revealed better than we ourselves could ever verbally convince you that no nursing care is too daunting for us to deliver, and no place is too far for us to go to deliver that care. No one is denied our care based on his or her race, religious belief, political affiliation, social class, or infectious status, as in the case of emerging infectious diseases such as HIV and AIDS, Ebola, and now COVID-19. The burnt out and underpaid, sometimes victimized and bullied, with limited human and material sources, we carry the lamp of our badges in our hearts, the symbol of light, with which we touch everyone who comes into our care.
The Social Welfare Division challenged to think outside the box to reduce the impact of future disasters. Andrea Louis has more.
The COVID-19 pandemic has forced a change in the way of doing business in every sector of society. The Social Welfare Division handles matters of child care, public assistance, and care for the elderly. Chief Welfare Officer Leroy Morvan says the pandemic has forced the division to take steps to develop resilience for future events.
COVID-19 has taken the world by storm, and nobody ever prepared for something like that. So I think the division, what we need to do now is to think outside the box, because maybe there may be, God forbid, worse case scenario than what we are experiencing right now. So yes, what we need to do at the welfare division is to beef up our database so that we could have information at our fingertips, and we're in the process of doing that right now.
The development of a database will not only be beneficial on a local level, but to international partners.
I am saying this because let us suppose a donor agency come from overseas and trying to give, or that person is trying to give, or the agency is trying to give persons of a particular age group some assistance, say people who are 65 years and over. Although we have a public assistance program, but in terms of the database where we would have all the bio data of everybody, it is not 100% up to date. So that's what we're in the process of doing. So in the event something like that comes up in the future, if we have our database well set up, then we will not have that issue as we would have right now if a donor agency were to come on board and try to assist persons of a particular age group. We wouldn't have the information at our fingertips.
The development of a database is the ideal way to protect the division going forward. However, there are challenges associated with carrying out such a project.
Some people are reluctant to give their information. I don't know, for some reason some people want to know why you want to know my date of birth. Although you'd explain to them, why should I give you my date of birth? Why should I tell you my children's ages, And not only that, because of the fact that we are limited staff, when we go in the field, it's kind of a task for us to really get all the information in due time. So that kind of caused the process to lengthen.
You're watching Channel 5 News. We'll have more after this.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
When you feel a sneeze or a cough coming, covering your mouth prevents the spread of germs. You probably knew that. But the way you cover up also matters, and that means breaking a habit you've held near and dear all your life. Cover your nose and mouth with your flexed elbow or a tissue, not your hands. Discard the used tissue immediately. Then Wash your hands. Help stop the spread of germs. Remember, your health is your responsibility.
A message by the Health Promotion Unit of the Ministry of Health, Wellness and New Health Investment, Dominica.
Avec Flow, gagnez l'argent, on partit l'argent avec Flow. Gagnez l'argent, on gros sac l'argent. C'est juste ça pour gagner un gros sac l'argent avec Flow. Animez on top up, sign up, quittez yo, et venez joindre Flow. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
If you're HIV positive or have an STI, having unprotected sex with multiple partners puts them in grave danger. You will expose every partner and their present and future partners to HIV or another STI. Use a condom every time you have sex. You can live a productive life even if diagnosed with HIV. Remember, early detection is key to your survival. Be responsible, protect yourself and others. Help stop the spread of HIV and other STIs.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Away $40,000 in cash, 2 bags of money plus a grand every Friday.
We're flowing better every day, and now we're making Fridays great. That's 3 ways that you can play. So listen up.
Top up.
$10 or more.
Sign up.
Just switch the flow.
Get a plan.
1 gig or more. If you wanna win cash galore.
With Flow.
Win a bag of money.
Cash out.
Get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? From Flow.
So top up, get a plan, or switch now to win. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
Thank you for staying with us. A number of projects aimed at helping school children put on hold indefinitely. President of the Rotary Club of Dominica says the COVID-19 outbreak in the country has caused the club to put a halt to its scheduled projects.
We have projects affected, especially projects with schools. We were undertaking a major project with the Goodwill Secondary School, so that's impacted. However, one of the plans is to provide to them, to reach out to the students that we were working with, alternatively considering COVID. And the project with the Goodwill Secondary School, it's engagement with the youth. So we meet with a group of the students of the school to provide mentoring to them and meetings and fellowship with the students. So that's a project that started at the beginning of the school year, but unfortunately is halted now as a result of COVID.
The club is making greater use of the available online platforms as it uses this current climate to reassess how to execute future projects.
We now realize the drive of the move to online. So even, for example, we're known for our annual Sauce and Punch that's held on Carnival Sundays. So in the likelihood of what happens with COVID, now we have to figure out an alternative way to raise funds for the club. And one of our signature projects, that's the VOSH, the eye care project. We don't know what will happen next year. So all of those are avenues. We have to figure out how are we going to proceed from this. Online fundraising, maybe have an online jam, an online Sauce and Punch, who knows?
During the COVID-19 crisis, the club has engaged in social projects, namely distributing face masks in the city of Roseau, giving care packages to those in need, and presenting food vouchers to frontline workers. And the World Tourism Organization, UNWTO, has released a Tourism Recovery Technical Assistance Package. This is to offer guidance to member states in response to COVID-19. The package is structured around three main pillars: economic recovery, marketing and promotion, and institutional strengthening and resilience building. With tourism among the hardest hit of all sectors, UNWTO has identified three possible scenarios for the months ahead. Depending on when restrictions on travel are lifted, international tourist arrivals could decline by 60 to 80% in 2020. This could translate into a decline in export revenues from tourism of between $910 billion US to $1.2 trillion US and place 100 to 120 million jobs directly at risk. The social ripple effect is also feared to be at least equally challenging for many societies the world over. Against this backdrop, the COVID-19 Tourism Recovery Technical Assistance Package is designed to support governments, the private sector, and donor agencies face this unprecedented socio-economic emergency.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Avec Flow, gagnez l'argent, on partit l'argent avec Flow. Gagnez l'argent, on gros sac l'argent. C'est juste ça pour gagner un gros sac l'argent avec Flow. Animez on top up, sign up, quittez yo, et venez joindre Flow. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts, with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Away $30,000 in cash, 2 bags of money plus a grand every Friday.
We're flowing better every day, and now we're making parties great. That's 3 ways that you can play. So listen up.
Top up.
$10 or more.
Sign up.
Just switch to Flow.
Get a plan.
1 gig or more. If you want to win cash galore.
With Flow.
Win a bag of money.
Cash out.
Get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? From Flow.
So top up, get a plan, or switch now to win. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
To end the news, a look again at the headlines. Manufacturing sector seizes opportunity to innovate during COVID-19 pandemic. Rotary places school assistance programs on hold indefinitely. And significant declines predicted in regional travel and tourism industries. You may access our news on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the production team, I am Julian Morris. Thank you for watching. Join us tomorrow.